Hi. So today's session is on artificial intelligence. We all are well aware of artificial intelligence today. When we talk about artificial intelligence, we are talking about intelligent machines which have cognitive capability, thinking machines. So in the past, whatever we have been seeing in the past was more of narrow AI. What we mean by narrow AI is that the artificial intelligence is capable of doing specific job, specific task, and definitely it is brilliant in doing that. Like if you take example of chess, Deep Blue defeated world champion Garry Kasparov, and then in the game of shogi, which is Japanese chess, again the AI was able to defeat the best of players. Then in a game of Go, which is a more complex game than chess, and there are the moves which are possible, they are more than the atoms which are there in universe. So in game of Go also, the AI was able to defeat the world champion, and it has played with a great strategy. The moves were very unconventional, and it was able to defeat the world champion. Then there was a game of Jeopardy, which is a game based on logic and reasoning, language and reasoning, and the AI was able to defeat the world champion there also. Like the IBM Watson was able to defeat the world champion in game of Jeopardy also. So when it comes to board game or these language plus reasoning games, AI has been doing brilliantly well. But then this AI is doing a specific job, playing a chess, playing a game of Go, playing a game of Jeopardy or shogi or anything. Then we have AI which is able to do vacuum cleaning, right? We hear about the driverless cars. The Waymo is coming with driverless cars. So these AI are built for doing a specific job, a specific task. And there it is able to do better than most of the human beings. Now is the era of generative AI. When we say generative AI, what it means is that it is capable of creating new data instances. Whether it is text, whether it is audio, whether it is video, right? So it is able to create new data, it is creative, it is intelligent, it's able to create something new. We are well aware of, all of us must have heard of ChatGPT. It is gaining a lot of momentum these days, and Google Bard, and many other AI models are there. But I'm just specifically picking these two because these two are gaining a lot of popularity and momentum these days. Right? So ChatGPT and Google Bard, they are able to do conversation with us, like very engaging and immersive conversation like a human being will do. So which is very special capability, because the Turing test what we talk about is also that the user is not able to differentiate between AI and the human. The communication is such that the user is not able to differentiate between the two. Right now we are able to, I think we can distinguish in most of the cases, but still like it is able to have very immersive and engaging conversation, as I said, right? And along with that, ChatGPT or Bard can do multiple other things like paraphrasing, summarization, writing code, doing basic mathematics, creating stories, right? And creating stories, poetry and other things. So it is capable of doing multiple cognitive functions, not just having conversation with you or giving you responses, but doing all these other things which I mentioned. So ChatGPT 4, which is the latest, one of the latest GPT, like it can take text as well as images as input and give text as output. So a lot of progress is happening in that area, in the field of large language model based AI. This AI which are capable of doing conversation with you, and they are having multiple other abilities as well. So along with ChatGPT and Bard, I can discuss few other examples also. Like we have character AI. Character AI is something which is able to create characters, virtual characters actually. There's a character AI platform, there's a virtual environment, and there you can go and create different characters actually. You can give different voices to them, character AI voices. And you can have a lot of fun, entertainment, you can have a lot of engaging conversation with them, you can have brainstorming with them, can also write story or poetry with them. So that's amazing platform which is there. Then we can then there is Chai. Chai is again AI, CHAI, again a AI which is capable of having engaging conversations, and also it has a Python library called ChaiP, which simplifies the bot programming. So these AI are having multiple capabilities. Andy is there, which can have conversation with you. It can teach you English in a conversation way, right? So Alpha Tensor is there, which is capable of advanced mathematics. It is enabling us. It has come with algorithms for complex matrix multiplication. Right? AlphaFold is there, which was capable of unfolding the structures of proteins. It is able to predict the 3D structure of proteins, on which researchers were doing research for decades, and we were not able to do that. So with AlphaFold, like for example, we can make a lot of progress in field of biology and biotechnology. But the more important thing is that we have to use it very responsibly. Otherwise, it can be used to create medicines which can be harmful for humankind, or it can use for creating bioweapons. So responsible usage of AI is very critical as we go forward, as it is gaining more and more capability. So this is basically I was talking about like generative AI and the advanced AI which we are seeing right now, which is based on deep neural networks, deep thinking networks. And now with passage of time, we are talking about AGI as well. So what is AGI? AGI is basically artificial general intelligence. What we talked about earlier in the past, what was happening, like board games and all that, was narrow artificial intelligence which was capable of doing a specific job. When we talk about AGI, we are talking about having general capability which has a comprehensive set of capabilities like a human being. So it can play also, it can walk, lift things, and it can have different cognitive capabilities. It's able to apply knowledge of foreign skills in one context from another context to another context, right? So it's basically having a overall human capability. That's when we call it as AGI. So there's a lot of talk also happening on the consciousness, because as human beings we have consciousness, we have self-aware, we can feel, we have emotions, right? We can perceive things, we can have subjective experiences. So the similar things are expected to be there in AGI also, because if we say that it's going to have human capability, then along with these other cognitive functions which we talked about, decision making and all, common sense and perceiving things, having subjective experience, though the consciousness of the subjective experience of a machine may be different than a human being, but that is what we mean when we are talking about AGI. A lot of progress is happening in that field, but still we are not there. Still consciousness and all that is still far away. I don't think we have a breakthrough for that right now. But yeah, building this comprehensive set of capabilities also, still a lot of challenges there, but a lot of work is happening and progress is being seen in that direction. See, ChatGPT and Bard, if you talk about like these two LLM-based, large language model-based AI, also like it's a step towards AGI, because it's able to do conversation with you, it's able to summarize things for you, it is able to paraphrase things for you, it can write stories for you, right? There are AI which can create text, which can take text as input and create images for you, like DALL-E 2, like ChatGPT is from OpenAI, and similarly DALL-E 2 is also from OpenAI. It can take text as input and it can give you images or art as an output, right? Realistic art as an output. It's doing a fantastic job right now. Then we have like Finaki and Make a Video, which can take text as an input and can give synthesized video as an output. For you, you can give prompt as text, and then it can convert into a video and give you video as an output. Google and Meta are also working in that space, doing a lot of work in that space, right? So I talked about DALL-E 2, right? And there are a lot of other AI models, but I am just talking about a few of them. So going back to the AGI, so there are a lot of work happening in space of robots and humanoids also, right? So which are capable of doing physical work, lifting things, moving around, walking, running, And along with that, if they start doing conversation, engaging conversation with you, it is like building a good set of capabilities, right, which a human is capable of. So if you take Gato as an example, DeepMind's Gato, Gato is able to have engaging conversation with you, and it is also able to stack a pile of wood blocks for you, right? Then you have, for example, Asimo from Honda. It can walk, run, hop, kick a ball. Then Tesla's Optimus is there, which is capable of having immersive conversations with you. And along with that, it can water plants, it can lift objects, right? NASA's Robonauts are there, which have been built to explore space. They can converse with you, they can help in exploring the space. Then Century AI's Phoenix is there, which is again a robot, a general purpose robot, which is capable of fleet supervision, teleoperation, helping the pilots, right? A lot of work is happening in that space. In Texas, Austin, AI is getting, work is happening on AI, which can read your thoughts. So the brain activity is getting converted into text output. So a lot of things which we may see in sci-fi movies started happening in space of AGI. Yes, the consciousness, feeling things and all that is right now not there. They are not, the robots or the humanoids are not sentient right now. They cannot feel, right? They cannot perceive things. They are not self-aware. If you take a social robot like Sophia, which became very famous, right? So it behaves like human, tries to talk like human, but it's programmed to do that, but it's not yet not sentient or self-aware. Still, there's some time distance to travel before we can reach there, but a lot of work is happening in that space. A lot of scientists believe that we may not reach there, the conscious machines and all that, but according to me, it should happen, and it will not be that far away. I think in 10-15 years down the line, as Ray and other scientists believe, I think we should be there. So, AGI, we talked about artificial general intelligence, and I talked about multiple AIs which are trying to travel in that direction. There is a talk about singularity as well. So what is singularity? Singularity is basically where the machines will become super intelligent. When you talk about general AI, like AGI, artificial general intelligence, we are not saying that the AI is going to be supremely intelligent in all areas, but we are saying that it will be capable of doing a lot of things which a human can do. Okay, and say walk, lifting things, and doing cognitive tasks which we talked about. And obviously, when it reaches there, if it achieves consciousness also, these machines are going to progress very fast, right? Because they are able to learn very fast. In few hours, they can learn things and they can defeat the champions in particular game or anything, right? So if the basic intuitive physics comes difficult to them, so the physical activities and all that is still challenged. They are still not able to do a lot of things physically which a human can do. But yes, there's a lot of work, as I said, happening in that space where robots are able to lift things, walk, run, kick a ball and all that. But yes, once we reach to that capability where the robots are and these humanoids are conscious, the AI is conscious, and it is super intelligent. Intelligence may be millions of times more intelligence than what a human is right now. So that's a period that's a point where we are calling singularity, where it will go completely beyond us. We cannot even imagine that, we cannot even fathom what is going to happen. Like even if some being or some machine is 100 times more intelligent than what we are today, we cannot imagine what that can do, right? What the capability will be. So when you talk about singularity, it means the machines will be super intelligent. So that's a point where peril can become more than promise. So that's why it's very important to have machines which are responsible, which are honest, transparent, have moral code of conduct, right? It should be ingrained in their DNA that they need to behave responsibly and with moral code of conduct. Actually, ethics are very critical. Actually, the biases should not be there, right? It should not be evil. It should not be malicious. So all that care has to be taken. Actually, that is very critical going forward, especially as the AI becomes more and more intelligent. So when some people say, that's not at all an issue, these are not the challenges of today. Yes, these are not challenges of today, but it can become challenge of tomorrow. And what challenges are there today? I'll just quickly talk about it. See, the machines are still not giving correct output in all the cases. It can give you incorrect output. It can give you factually incorrect data. It can talk about the factually incorrect person actually, which does not exist. The event which has not happened, right? So it can give that kind of output. When you give a question and it doesn't have an answer for it, can give you a response. It may not say that I don't know. It will give you a response maybe based on an event or a person or an activity which has actually not happened. Why it happens? Because it may have been taught on the wrong data or on the biased data, right? So that can definitely happen. It's called hallucination. It's different from how humans hallucinate, but yeah, it's been coined as hallucination when machines are giving you incorrect or factually incorrect output when it doesn't know things. So as we'll give more and more data, more and more correct data will feed in, and we'll try. It's like the organizations, the scientists, the researchers are working to ensure that it gives more and more truthful output. But it is going to take a while before we reach where it can be 99% or 100% there, right? So hallucination is one area which needs to be solved, and then there are other things. There can be bias in artificial intelligence, which can be gender, ethnicity, culture, age-based biases based on what kind of data it is being trained on, right? Then copyright infringement, intellectual property right is another area which we need to look at seriously, because AI can create new things today, but it is using a lot of things as references inside, right? And we don't know what references it is using. It may be using to create a piece of music. It may be using a lot of references inside, but it is not giving us those references. So there's no permission, there's no credit going to the people who work it is using as reference. There's no compensation going there. So this copyright infringement issue also needs to be resolved, where the credit should go, right? How to take care of this part when machine is generating something new for you based on the prompts that you are giving. And last, I would say that the children also, we need to educate about AI right from school, because they will be using AI or maybe AGI in future, and it is very important that they understand that the responsible usage of AI is very critical going forward, right? The ethics and morals are very important when we talk about AI or progress which is happening in field of AI. There should be international agreements also. There should be regulations in place. That is very critical as we progress with respect to artificial intelligence.